There are just so many good things to highlight about Kansas State this year that I almost don't know where to start. If you are listening to this right now, you are probably expecting that Kansas State's going to be a contender, if only because we talked about it yesterday. But sight unseen, this is a program that's been really stable in the Big 12.
Yes.
They've been so consistent under Chris Kleiman. They're just kind of in that conversation every year. The big question for me, though, is the same that we've been asking for a few years running now with K-State. And again, this is also no mystery. We know this is a good team. What happens or what needs to happen for them to become a great team? For example, good team last year. Great teams don't blow 2-score leads against a 4-8 Houston squad.
Agree.
So what does it take, Dan? And my hunch is that this is where you came down on K-State and why you weren't a little bit higher on them. What does it take, in your estimation, to get them just one peg up so that they are the top dog in the conference?
Discipline. They were an extremely sloppy team last year. And I know that you are turnovers aren't always indicative of where a team is or isn't year to year, because a lot of that can be random. But a lot of those turnovers last year with pitches and fumbles and interceptions, there was a sloppiness to the way Kansas State either turned the ball over or lost games. That, they fumbled it right away. Was it the Iowa State game? You might be able to fact check me on that. But there was a certain amount of losing games because of slop, or losing games to teams they have no business losing to because of slop. And I need Avery Johnson to fully shave that beautiful mane of his and become Mr. Clean if I'm going to feel excellent. That's a reference to the cleaning solution, Ty Mr. Clean and his beautiful bald head. That's what I need from Kansas State. I need cleanliness from what I believe to be a very, very talented offense. And I need cleanliness from a secondary that was just too leaky, and there are new pieces to this defense this year. And I'm just going to need to see proof of concept, make, another sort of pseudo coordinator change with Matt Wells fully taking over the offense.
Right.
That I have faith in Chris Kleiman as a coach. I have faith in Avery Johnson as an athlete. But I still need to have faith in him as he enters his third year of playing. He was, a rotational type change of pace guy in year one with Will Howard. But I need to feel confident that he has this under control. He has this situation. He has this read on whatever defense they're playing under control. That he's always going to bring so much athletically to the table, extending drives with his feet on 3rd and 9 or whatever, and finding the pylon. Or finding, the down marker. But to me, it's just a matter of discipline and cleanliness for Kansas State on both sides of the ball. Because from a coaching perspective, from a star power perspective, it's in a number of spots. Right now, it's just, why are you losing to this team? Why are you barely beating this team like their game against Kansas last season when they're trying to give it away? Why are you losing this game in this specific manner because of interceptions or undisciplined, like giving a team a 24-yard touchdown drive or something like that because you've made a mistake? That, to me, is what I need to see from Kansas State this year before feeling all of the tingles about the Cats.
Yeah, the BYU game comes to mind.
Oh, that
as
was
one.
That was a wave of slop.
Yeah, there was a wave of slop and there were turnovers, but they had special teams stuff, fumbled snaps, bad turnovers in some of those November losses as well. And I think you're right about Avery Johnson. I mean, that's, I think, my sticking point with him. Clearly, he's talented. Gets a little yippy as a passer sometimes.
Yeah.
Is not fully a complete product yet. So you see the upside, ran for 600 yards last season. This year, no more DJ Giddens, but I do like the combination a lot of Avery with Dylan Edwards in the backfield. 2 native Kansans, by the way.
Yeah.
That make for a really tantalizing pairing.
They have the highest, I think, the highest rated recruit coming in the Big 12 and a 5-star tight end.
Lincoln Cure.
Yeah.
Lincoln Cure. Yeah. So it's the, I think, highest rated recruit ever at Kansas State.
Yeah.
And I'm curious to see what they do with him if they work him into the rotation. I suspect they will.
Yeah.
You mentioned Matt Wells as offensive coordinator as well. Lone offensive coordinator this season. I mentioned this a little bit last episode, but based on the tea leaves I've been reading, Going to try to use the speed in the backfield, their versatility, try to twist some knots defensively. Try to twist some defenses in knots, excuse me.
No, twisting knots is something you can pay for on our Patreon tier to get those knots out of Ty's feet. Continue.
I think the offense could be really fun. I got questions about who's out wide and whether they work a guy like a Lincoln Cure in out there. But
their starting point is excellent.
Other than some new faces up front, which everybody's dealing with to some extent.
Yeah.
I think the offense is going to be really solid. By the way, there is another Blake Barnett.
Really?
Remember that name, Blake Barnett?
Yeah. So that was one-time Notre Dame commit, ended up at Bama before going to USF, I want to say.
He was all over.
From the San Diego area, yeah.
I saw Blake Barnett in some of these previews, and I was like, is this guy Benjamin Button? What is going on here? He is the backup. It is a different Blake Barnett. The other one that we know is 29 now. I don't think he has eligibility, although 2025, who the hell knows at this
By the
point.
way, Blake Barnett, sidebar here, was one of the inspirations for a former fantasy thing of like, yeah, sure, this quarterback is okay, but
check out his hot babe girlfriends.
That's right. I forgot about that.
From like accounts that you never knew existed on social media that were just like college football bros daily. Continue.
Got to keep Avery Johnson healthy. No disrespect to this Blake Barnett, but Avery Johnson's the one who's going to get it done. I like their defense. I always like their defense. It hurts to lose Brendan Mott along the line, who was a first-team All-12er, led the team in sacks. But I think the front seven is really good.
I like 12er there. I don't know if that was intentional. An All-12er.
An All-12er.
That's great.
This is where one of my dumb food references come in, and I actually wanted to workshop this with you.
Okay, I'm ready.
I really like Austin Romaine.
Okay.
Who is their linebacker, 96 tackles last year as a sophomore.
Okay.
I'm workshopping a couple T-shirt designs that
the salad.
No, we tried to run at Austin Romaine, but he wouldn't let us.
Ty,
Or you can go the other way and say, let us show you Austin Romaine.
What about like leave him alone? No? I'm not great with it, Ty.
There's something there. His name is Romaine.
His name is Romaine. Romaine Com. I don't know. I appreciate you going for it, though. I do.
This is what I bring to this show.
This is real tough.
This is also the sound of people unsubscribing.
Yeah. Well, hold on. It gets better. It gets better.
I've got another one that I think is actually worse.
Oh, no. Okay.
Which, yeah, we're going to get to that this episode. Stand by for that.
Yeah.
If you're going to go at K-State, the way to do it is through the air. The secondary is younger.
Hold on. What position does Romaine play?
Linebacker.
So the hand's not in the dirt like Romaine. Okay. I was trying to see if there was anything in that direction. Continue.
I think we're going to see some deep shots in that week 0 game against Iowa State. I'm curious to see how they contend with it. One of the better schedules in the conference. It's spread out really well. There are 4 big games that I think determine this season. The first is that week 0 game in Dublin. They're at Baylor week 6. They play Texas Tech week 10. They're at Utah week 13. I am going over for K-State. I'm going over. Their over-under is 8.5. The under means they're losing all 4 of those. I don't think they will. Of course, given the conversation, you can't rule out a dumb loss or some weird sort of turnover implosion. But
yeah,
I think the floor is 9-3 for K-State, and they're the ones that I've got coming out.
The floor is 9-3.
Yeah, for me, the floor is 9-3. I think they're coming out of this conference and going to the playoff.
All right, so they've got Baylor on the road, obviously Iowa State and Dublin. They've got the Kansas rivalry game on the road a week before Texas Tech. It's definitely not a look ahead, but it's the new look Kansas facility. That game, Kansas really had a great shot in last year. Maybe they'll be better prepared to start the season this year. At altitude, a week after going to Stillwater, so 2 weeks on the road in a row. It's a tricky schedule. I still like this schedule. I still like Kansas State a lot. I like them a lot more than many of these teams on their schedule. That Army game's a little bit weird, too.
Yeah. Not as high on Army this year, but
I'm not super high on Army. It's just
I like them.
yeah. It's if you throw an interception or cough the ball up once on the ground, and Army turns that into a 73-minute touchdown drive. That's a short game. That's everybody's getting 6 possessions, and that's that.
A bit of body blow there. Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, they have Arizona the week after, but it's a short week after Army. Body blow, short week, into the desert, in September, on the road, and it's going to be hot.